Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are breaking down the FinOps Assessment. Seriously, you should think of it as your own personal GPS for the cloud, helping you navigate all that spending, and more importantly, making sure you're getting real value out of it.
Okay, let's just dive right in. Does your organization ever get that feeling that you're just flying blind? You're in this fog of cloud costs, right? You see the bills piling up, you know you're spending the money, but are you 100% sure you're getting the best bang for your buck? If that rings a bell, trust me, you are not alone.
And look, this kind of uncertainty, it's not just some small headache. It can lead to some serious wasted cash and, totally missed opportunities. But the good news is there is a structured way to slice right through that fog, to get some clarity, and to actually chart a course forward.
And that is exactly where the FinOps assessment comes into play. It's the compass for your journey. It's the tool that's designed from the ground up to give you that direction and turn all that guesswork into a real, data-driven strategy.
So, what is it really? Well, at its heart, a FinOps assessment is basically a regular health check for how you manage your cloud finances. And I gotta stress this, it is not a one-time audit. It's a repeatable process, something you do over and over to see what's working and, crucially, where you can get better.
You have to appreciate just how strategic these goals are. This isn't just about pinching pennies right now. It's about measuring how effective you are against what the business actually wants to achieve. It's about getting finance, engineering, and leadership all talking to each other to build a shared roadmap for the future.
All right, so how does this whole thing work in the real world? Well, the assessment itself follows a really clear, repeatable path that's broken down into 3 pretty logical phases.
The whole effort really boils down to this simple but super powerful loop. First, you define your goals. What are you trying to do? Then you set your baseline with that first assessment. And finally, you make it a continuous cycle. You reassess on a regular schedule to see how you're doing and adjust your course as you go. It's a classic improvement loop, right?
Now, a really key idea to get your head around is that FinOps maturity isn't some light switch you just flip on. No way. It's a journey. And that journey has these really distinct stages of progression, which you'll hear called crawl, walk, and run. It's all about starting where you are and just building up from there.
And the difference between the beginning of this journey and the end, wow, it is night and day. In the crawl phase, you're literally just starting out. A lot of stuff is probably done by hand. But by the time you hit the run phase, your FinOps practice is this highly automated, deeply integrated machine that's managing a super complex cloud environment.
So, at the crawl stage, you're really just focused on getting a basic rhythm down. You're probably doing assessments maybe once a year, and it's just for the core FinOps team. The goals are all about setting a direction for the future, and documentation, well, is probably done by hand in a spreadsheet or something simple.
Now, as you move into the walk stage, things start to get a little more serious. The pace picks up, you're doing this maybe every 6 months, maybe even quarterly. You're using a consistent format now, which is huge because it lets you actually compare your progress over time. You might even have someone on the team whose job it is to be the dedicated assessor.
And finally, at the run stage, now your assessment capability is a well-oiled machine. It's happening quarterly, you have multiple people who are trained to do it, and it's not just the central team anymore. It's happening inside individual business units. There's a real culture of proactive assessment and sharing what you've learned across the whole company.
But, and this is a big but, this journey is absolutely not a solo mission. To succeed, you have to assemble the right crew. FinOps is a team sport, and a good assessment completely depends on bringing together all these different viewpoints from all over your organization.
Think about your engineers. They are on the front lines, right? They're the ones who take the big ideas from an assessment and turn them into actual architectural and technical decisions. Their buy-in is absolutely critical if you want to turn those insights into real action. Then you've got your finance partners. They are the bridge to the business side of the house. They make sure that all the technical stuff being talked about is connected back to the company's financial strategy. They connect the cloud to the bottom line.
And of course, there's leadership. They're the ones who set the destination. They provide the clear business goals that give the entire assessment its purpose and its direction. Plus, they're the ones who have to champion that culture of transparency and accountability that makes all this stuff actually work.
So, you've got your crew, your journey is underway. How do you know if you're actually on the right track? Well, it's simple. You measure it. You set up clear, program-level key performance indicators, or KPIs.
And I want you to notice something here. These KPIs aren't just about saving money.
Success is measured by the reach and the maturity of the program itself. How many assessments are you getting done? What chunk of the whole FinOps framework are you looking at? How many people are actually trained to do this? These metrics prove you're building a real capability, not just chasing a number.
At the end of the day, the FinOps assessment is your map and your compass for getting value out of the cloud. So the real takeaway here is to look inward. This whole journey, it all starts by answering one simple but really powerful question. Where are you on the map today?